Welcome to my YouTube channel Science Innovative Brain. Today's video lecture we will discuss about the line type modulator and its advanced charging power supply. So in this video lecture we'll discuss how the PFN is charging with the help of advanced charging power supply and how the PFN is discharging with the help of thyratron, and when the thyratron is discharged, how the vacuum tubes or magnetron, klystron getting the high voltage pulse with the help of pulse transformer. So we will discuss these things. If you are the new on the channel, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe my channel. So we'll start the video lecture. So let's start the topic. So here if you see, this is the line type modulator circuit diagram. In this circuit diagram, first section is the high voltage capacitor charging power supply. This power supply is a DC power supply. This power supply will charge the PFN network at particular voltage, required voltage. So here one switch I shown. This switch will just represented that power supply is turn on or turn off condition. So through this switch only we will turn on and turn off this power supply. And after that, if you see here, one thyratron is there, 3-terminal device. This thyratron anode is connected to the positive terminal, cathode is the ground reference. If you see here, this is the ground, and then TG is the trigger of the thyratron. Whenever we give the trigger, this thyratron will start the conduction. Then after that, this is called PFN, pulse forming network. So pulse forming network is the combination of LC parameter, inductor and capacitor, because this is the transmission line. Any transmission line having characteristic impedance. So characteristic impedance will not change if the transmission line distance is whatever, length is whatever. And the characteristic impedance is defined by Z is equal to under root L by C. So this is the L, this is the C, or you can say total number of L, total number of C. So whatever you want, you can do it. And for this design, if you want to how to select the component for the required pulse flat top or duration of the pulse, let us know 5 microseconds if required. So according to that, we have to select the component. This component selection formula I will describe in the description box. From there you can find it. Or if you want to design the PFN network, you can comment in the box. I will describe you, or I will make another video for this section. So here the PFN is there. This PFN, after that, this is the bifilar pulse transformer. Why bifilar? Bifilar means it's having two secondaries, equivalent secondaries in the secondary side of the transformer. So this transformer will convert the low voltage pulse into high voltage pulse, very high voltage pulse required for the magnetron to operate properly. So this pulse voltage will generate by this transformer for the magnetron, and that magnetron having heater also. So heater is floating on the cathode potential, same high voltage potential. So we cannot give the directly heater voltage from the outside if we want to make a system compact. So that's why we use the bifilar transformer. In this secondary, if you see the whatever the voltage is this point, same voltage will generate at this point also. So the both potential is equal only here with the help of this dot. If you see equivalent potential. So for the dynamic equalization also, one small capacitor will connect to this point and here also, and a small resistor, and one cathode terminal will make it as a ground, so that this secondary terminal will not become floating terminal both sides. Otherwise we'll get the shock also, or arcing may can happen. So to avoid this, one terminal will make it ground and another terminal will make a with some high resistance ground. That's why given the high resistance, approximately 100 ohms, depending on your filament current is going. So in this wire, in this two wire is going the filament current. So one is filament current IF. IF is going. This is IF is going and coming back here. From here it is going and then coming back. But one more current is there. This is also IF written. I will write. So one more current is there, that is tube current, which is flowing from the anode to cathode side, or electron is flowing from cathode to anode side. So one current also is in this section. This both means cathode wire will go. That is called tube current, magnetron current. Magnetron tube current. Tube current. So this is the total how the line type modulator is designed. Now we'll discuss how the system is working as per the graphs. How which section is turning on and which section is turning off, so that we will get the high voltage pulse for the magnetron. So if you see here, I made the four parts. One is the switch, operation of SW switch, means high voltage power supply. Second is the PFN voltage, when the supply will charge, what is the voltage across this. Then after that, trigger for the thyratron. Then magnetron current will generate here. So current will flow in this, both ground is connected. So this current will flow from ground to this section, like this. Tube current will flow from here to here, but electron will flow from opposite direction of the current. So here what will happen, first in this section, first we will turn on this high voltage capacitor power supply to charge the PFN. So I given one trigger to turn on the high voltage power supply. If you see this section, this is the trigger. This is the trigger. When I given the trigger, same time this power supply will charge the capacitor within some few milliseconds. So when I given the trigger, same time the PFN voltage, because this is turn on, so whatever the voltage is here, same voltage will go to the capacitor. So the voltage across the capacitor is going and PFN is charging on same potential of this HUPS. So this is straight line, means this is starting and charge. This is the charging. So how the charging will happen? Charging will happen in this path. So current will start from here, and this is the total current. Then all the current will divide depending on the capacitor. Here will not go because here reverse diode is there. So current will flow. Then same current will come in here and going to from here to here. But I don't want the current flow from the pulse transformer. If the charging current flow from the pulse transformer will generate some of the output voltage, and that is unwanted output voltage. So that voltage I don't want. So for that, what I will do, I will put one freewheeling diode across this point in the forward section. So this is the diode I have connected. So what will happen? This will not allow the current flow from the inductor, because inductor will not allow sudden change. So what will happen? Current will flow from here to here, then this part, and then this part to HUPS, high voltage power supply section. So current is like this. So this is called charging current. So charging current will call as the I charge. I charge. This is the charging current of the PFN. So now my PFN is charged on the same potential of V. So what is the voltage across the PFN? V voltage. Whatever the voltage of HUPS is there. So PFN is charged on the potential. So this voltage is called V voltage. This flat line. So now PFN is charged. After that, what I have to do? I have to stop the switch. So what I did here is, if you see, the trigger pulse or switch is turned off in this period. In this period, the switch is turned off because I don't want the power, this power supply. Now the thyratron will discharge, and this section, now this section is become as a source. So this section I will use as a source for the pulse transformer. So now in this condition, after few, if you see, when the switch is off and this section from this dot to this part, this is part of the PFN voltage holding. So PFN is charged and hold for the this duration, and after this point, if you see thyratron trigger TG, now I turn on this thyratron. So is this, in this point I just made turn on the thyratron switch, and this is, and at this point this HUPS is off condition, so that this also not discharged and this also not discharged. To avoid this conflict, we have to put the interlock, so that whenever I will trigger this thyratron, this switch should be in off condition. So this switch is off condition, if you see from this graph. So now this thyratron is just on. So when the thyratron is just on, what will happen? Whatever the voltage is across the PFN, this will start the discharging. So how the discharge will happen? So because this charge by positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. This is charge. Now because this is start conducting, so what will happen? Whatever is there, this will start, and current will flow from like this to this, and current will flow from the to this pulse transformer and returning back through this and coming back here. Understand? So what will happen when the thyratron is just on, this will start the we given the trigger, it will start conduction, and then current will flow from pulse transformer and coming back to this source and coming out here. It will not go from the diode because diode is the reverse bias condition. So in same condition, that period, what will happen? The current pass to the pulse transformer and pulse transformer primary voltage, and same time the secondary voltage will generate. So here if you see, when the thyratron is just trigger high, same time, that time current is start flowing from the primary and secondary voltage will start this building, and it is built for the whatever the time period is designed by the PFN network, and now it is going to turn off because this is off condition and this source fully discharged. Those discharge means the voltage is become, after that sometime become zero, and then we have to wait for the some time, because it should not happen that this thyratron is on condition and this is again turned on. So what will happen? This will go discharge. So my power supply will get short circuit and it become damaged. So in that period we have to give some margin dead zone. After dead zone we have to fire again this HUPS turn on. So whenever the given the gate command for the switch is on, then again HUPS, this power supply will start and given charging the PFN. So PFN is charging on this potential again, and again this part is repeating. So this section is again repeating. So whatever the repetition required, we can choose is by the giving the turning on this switch and this switch with interlock. So in this manner, if you see, the pulse current is flowing through the magnetron, and magnetron is operating, and magnetron is a self oscillator. So as per the magnetron frequency, it will generate the RF power. So So if it's the S-band magnetron, so it will generate the S-band frequency that may be 2.99 gigahertz to 2 point something gigahertz. So this is the as per range of the S-band magnetron. So in this manner, this circuitry, PFN network and modulator power supply is working. So here one more thing I want to convey, that this PFN network impedance should be matched with the load impedance so that maximum power will transfer. Otherwise will not get the efficiency from the modulator and our efficiency become poor. So maximum loss will happen and will not get the required output from the modulator. So we have to match the tube impedance with the PFN network. So if the tube impedance is ZT, so we have to refer from the secondary side to primary side by dividing under root of the turns ratio of N, and then it become the impedance across the PFN. So if you see the RTH means, if you see here, so this is one network, this PFN Z, and one more network of the load. So this is, I will say, the tube primary side referred, and this is the one source of network. So for the as per the maximum power transfer, it will happen when the Z is equal to ZTP. So these things we have to remember whenever we are designing any modulator. So I hope you will understand the line type modulator working, how it is working and its construction. Thank you. Bye bye.